y'all, I travel a lot for speaking engagements, for events, content getting. That's even a word, but to get content for our launches and activations. And I'm finding that finding a makeup artist is challenging in different cities and states. I have my go-tos in Los Angeles and New York. But these other cities, I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? Um, who's gonna make me feel good in my skin? So recently I was in I'm not gonna say the city, but I was in a city and we had to find a makeup artist, okay? And we had a selection of maybe three. But when we looked at their profiles, the makeup was all looking the same. The women had the same eyebrows, same technique, but it was what it was because we were in a smaller city. So anyway, we booked this makeup artist and she comes very pleasant. Um, Easy to talk to, and it felt good and safe to be around her. So she starts the makeup application, and I say, hey, you know what? I want my skin to shine through. I have some moles that I really love to shine through. Don't cover them up, but if you cover them up, bring them back, and so forth. So I give her direction because I get my makeup done so much. I know exactly what I want. Anyway, she's doing her setup and doing her powders. I put my contact lens in and she's doing my face and I'm talking five layers of powder, y'all. And literally blotting my eyes to put on I don't know, it wasn't a mask, it wasn't a eyeshadow, but maybe it was an eyeshadow. Long story short, she goes to put on some lashes or something and I'm like, man, I can't see. Did I bring hazel contacts? Because I wear contacts and glasses, and at that time I had on glasses. It was time to put on my contacts, and I was like, I can't see because I have my contacts. I can't see. I was like, did I bring my Halloween contacts? Because for Halloween I had my face done and I had on hazel contacts. I'm like, there's no way I bought hazel contacts. So she's gaslighting me, like, yeah, they're probably the hazel contacts that you brought. No joke, okay? And then also, we started at 4:45. It's now 7 o'clock. I needed to be at the event for 7:15. I kid you not, okay? So anyway, I take out the contact and there is makeup all in both contacts, and I didn't bring an extra pair. So 2 contacts, I'm cleaning with the solution. I even had to put soap, which is crazy for a contact, to get the makeup off. And y'all, do you know the makeup did not come off? So I had to go to the event almost blind, couldn't see. So finally she realized it was makeup. She did apologize, which I appreciated. But I was just concerned on that skill set on how do you get makeup in your client's eyes? For all these years, last 6, 7 years, I've been getting my makeup done. That has never, ever happened to me. And this next guest, she used to be a celebrity MUA, and she's gonna give us some tips and tricks. And I can't wait to tell her this story because it is wild. Kimberly, like, and I have my Black Girl sunscreen with me too. I have my vanilla. I ordered it.
Of course,
from
from Instacart.
From Instacart, yeah.
Yes.
So what's going on at Black Girl sunscreen?
Well, talking about appearances, you have one coming up that we're really excited about.
Okay.
You are going to be on the 1000th episode of the Tamron Hall Show.
Okay.
So it's a big milestone for her, and she's doing something a little different. So it's coming at the tail end of International Women's Month, and she's highlighting women, entrepreneurs, business founders, and she wants to talk about business. So for you, this is going to be an opportunity not only to talk about Black Girl Sunscreen and your journey in business, but just what's going on right now, the state of the business in terms of what's happening around us that's having an impact, and how Black businesses need to be supported in ways that they currently are not.
Well, first of all, I'm eager about all that stuff, right? Because that's a conversation within itself. But Tamron is fabulous. We were just talking about makeup, and her makeup is on point all the time. And that short haircut too.
Yes, and fashion, like all of it.
Listen,
yeah,
y'all gonna see me on TV, so tune in to Tamron's Hall. When does the episode air?
3/31, so 31st.
3/31. Okay, 3/31. 3/31. I don't know what that means, but anyway, I'm excited for that opportunity. Let's see how I do. Yeah, I know I'm gonna come with the fit and the hair and the makeup because my makeup person's in New York, y'all. We ain't gonna have makeup in my eyes.
No.
Okay, Kimberly. So who do we have sitting next to us?
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Okay, our guest today is a powerhouse, an entrepreneur, reality TV star, singer, author, and multifaceted businesswoman who knows exactly how to command the spotlight. You may know her from the Real Housewives of Potomac, but her influence extends far beyond reality TV. She's a singer, an actress, a pageant queen, and a thriving business owner who's building her empire on her own terms. From entertainment to entrepreneurship, she does it all with glamour, grace, grit, and a little bit of shade when necessary.
Yes.
Please welcome the unstoppable Candiace Dillard Bassett.
Someone have some applause
Yes.
there.
Thank you
Yes.
for having me.
We are so excited to have you.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yes. So we got a lot of to talk about, but we want to
Yes.
jump right in
Let's
for our
jump.
listeners
Okay.
because a lot of women want to know, how did you get on the show in the first place, Housewives?
Oh, this is a good story. So, season 1 aired, and the DMV, or the DC, Maryland, Virginia area it's a microcosm. It's big, but it's small. Everybody kind of knows each other. So when the show first started, I was like, wait a minute, where was I when they were making these calls? No one called me to be on the show. And I remember
How dare
watching.
they?
How dare you?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? And so, I watched like everyone because it was only the second iteration of a Black Housewives franchise. So I was very excited about that. I lived at the time in the DMV for over 15 years at the time. So you want to see who's on the show, where are they going to go, where are they going to eat, who are they going to see. So I'm watching with my boyfriend at the time, my husband now, and we get to season 2, and I'm like, this is like, I should be on the show. Like, and I remember thinking, this is the perfect vehicle to catapult me into all of the dreams and the goals that the Lord has put on me to do. And so I prayed. I literally remember, because I would always pray. I had a couch at the foot of my bed where I would pray. And I got down and I said, Lord, if this opportunity is meant for me, I promise that I will do my best. I'll try to use it to glorify you. And literally, Kim, maybe like a couple of months later, I was helping my husband open a restaurant, Myron Mixon's at the time. And I got an email from a casting director about doing the show. And I remember saying, this literally feels like Housewives. Because they don't say in the subject.
subject.
It's very like clandestine. It's very like an ensemble cast is looking for dynamic women, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, this sounds like Housewives. That's crazy. And I responded. I had my first casting call, and then I had like a myriad of calls after that, and the rest is history.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you haven't looked back.
Nope.
Okay, so one of the reasons you were so great on the show is because you gave shade like nobody else.
I did
Yes,
not.
you did. And even yes, and even
Not with
when
the bashful look, though.
Mhm.
Me?
when you would do the confessionals, and it seemed like you were saying something nice about somebody, and then right at the end,
Yeah, you do a
you'd
little-
call out somebody's forehead.
Well, you know
who I'm talking about.
material is there.
Yes.
Yes.
So I have to ask you, you're no longer on the show.
Correct.
Do you still
Material there.
maintain relationships with any of those women? In
Yeah.
particular, Karen, who's
Oh,
going through it
gosh.
right now.
Yes.
Like, are you guys still in touch? How is she doing?
So yes, I do still speak to some of the women. I actually just had a very long lunch with Wendy. Because I had a baby, so it's hard to get away.
Mhm.
It just so happened that my husband was off that day, and we were supposed to go to lunch at 12, and we got there at 1 because we're late, and we were there until 7. And Chris is like, "Are you coming home?" I'm like, "Sir, be seated with my child and relax. Like I don't go out, so let me be out." We just talked and because I hadn't talked to her like at length in so long, so it was nice to catch up. Karen, I have not spoken to as of late for obvious reasons. Prior to her going away, I had been keeping in touch and checking in, and she was checking in on me. Throughout my whole pregnancy, she was checking in and making sure I was okay and seeing how I was feeling. When I had Jet, we kind of kept it very close to the vest. And she was like, I feel like you had the babies. You don't have to tell me, but I feel like you did. So if you did, just know that I'm excited. So she's always been that supportive person for me. So this turn of events is devastating, to say the least. And, and I say that in the same breath that I also say that, drinking and driving is never okay. It's never right. But I also say that in general, I hate a pile-on with anyone for any reason. And I just resent greatly how intensely the public has decided to pile on to a woman who is dealing with demons, much in the way that we all deal with demons. Everybody in the world, everybody in this room and listening to the sound of my voice right now has their stuff. And, you are lucky, or whatever you want to call it, enough to not have to have your demons played out for the world to see. Therefore, you think you're better or worse than someone. Karen has stuff to deal with, and she will have time to sit and think about it and deal with it. But to crucify her, when instead we should be helping her and helping her to uplift, is sort of where I sit with it. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to lighten it up first.
Please take us out of this.
Yes. Got a couple things. So what were your favorite moments while doing that project?
Oh, God. I like how you said that project, because, yes, it was certainly a project.
Mm-hmm.
I always reference Karen, the wig shift moment. That will probably always be one of my favorite moments. That was my first season.
No?
Well, my wig is tacked down to my forehead. It's not going to move.
Okay.
But yes, Karen, we were sweating. We were doing bubble soccer. That was my first season. That was my first all cast event.
Okay.
So I was kind of nervous, like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? And that was toward the end. We were eating. We didn't have napkins, which I did not live down for many seasons. And yeah, Karen is just so easy to create entertainment. So she's sweating and the wig is shifting. We call it a wig shift. Her wig.
Okay.
It was her wig shift moment.
Yes.
And I'm sitting next to her, so I can see that it's doing a slide. It's regressing. And I was like, ooh, and I see she's trying to fix it, but she's not doing that. So I'm like, oh, so I'm like, do I touch it? I don't, I'm just meeting these women, so I don't want to get too, too intimate into the people's wigs. And it just became this like moment that to me is the most hilarious moment on the show.
Because she keeps eating while the wig is shifting.
Is doing its own dance. Yes.
So
funny.
So are you the wig shifter now? So if you see somebody's wig just
I'm a wig whisperer.
Will you?
Yes. The girl's girl in me is not ever going to let a black woman walk around with a crooked wig if I can help it. Yes. Now, if I don't like you, be crooked all day. But if I see good in you, yes, I want to help get the wig together.
Yeah, get it together.
Yes.
Okay. So you are looking fantastic. I'm loving this purple on purple.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So I know you have some big events tonight.
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Is this the glam for tonight?
This is the glam for tonight. It was also the glam for yesterday.
Tell us more.
Yes. So, I'm a pageant girl. I'm a former Miss United States. One of the things that you learn in the pageant space is how to do your own makeup, because a lot of times you have to do your own makeup backstage.
Okay.
So I learned very early, and from watching my mom as a child, because she was like a makeup girl, how to do my own makeup. And it has served me well most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't have time to sit in the chair every day. It's so tedious and daunting to have to sit for an hour and a half to 2 hours while somebody's like stabbing you in the eye and getting fallout all over your face. It's too much. So whenever I can, I do what's called a face preservation.
Oh, tell us more.
And I honestly, I don't recommend this. This is not for everyone, okay? Because everyone's skin is not created equal.
Okay.
Everyone in here has beautiful skin. We are all melanated. Most of us are melanated, yes. And we have beautiful skin. So I don't do this and then call me and say, Candiace, I have acne because of you. That's not my fault.
Yeah, I mean, because really what we're getting into right now is sleeping in makeup okay? Let's talk about it.
It's not. I don't recommend it.
Okay.
However, if you want to be gangsta.
How do you do it?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you.
Yes.
Okay, so
tell the people.
the number one thing is you should be doing this anyway. You need to sleep on a satin pillowcase.
Okay.
Which you should be doing anyway.
Absolutely.
Because it's best for your skin. It's great for your hair. It prevents breakage. It helps to promote oil production and keeps your skin from drying out. But especially for this preservation process, the makeup does not transfer as easily on the satin as it would on cotton. So you want to sleep on satin.
But you laying with your head to the pillow, though.
No, you can lay on your side.
Okay.
So what I do before I go to bed, first of all, it's important to have a good first makeup application. Make sure that you are setting between layers, you're spraying, you're powdering down. You want to like shellac the face before you get to the next day.
Okay.
So this is a great makeup application. Shout out to Dee Kelly. She beat my face yesterday. Before you go to bed, blot your whole face.
Okay.
I will then take a pressed powder and just dust it all over. And then I will do a setting spray. Well, I'll do a rose water and then a setting spray. And then you let it dry down and you pray about it and go to sleep.
Okay, so the prayer is probably the most important part.
It might
because
be. Yes.
Because I tried to this was what's that Off the Run tour by Beyonce?
On the Run.
On
Yep.
the Run. On the Run. Okay.
Yep.
She came to Miami. I was in Miami and I had to go to Cuba the next day.
Oh, fancy.
And so my makeup was on point for the concert. And I said,
Yes.
I'm going to wear this makeup to Cuba. My flight was at like 7 a.m.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Got home from the concert about 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to go to sleep. My face was itching. I said, oh. No, I got to take this off.
Yeah.
I got to take it off.
Yeah.
And since then, I've never, ever slept in it. But, you know, I struggle with putting on lashes. Y'all can see one of my lashes is a little crazy right now.
They look very natural.
Thank you very much. So if somebody does my makeup, you know, a couple days ago, I try to, you know, keep the lashes intact.
Yes.
I will do that, but my face, it has to
gotta
come
take it
off.
off. Yeah, it's like I said, I don't recommend it. It's literally it's for the gangsters. You gotta be.
It is.
You gotta be a G
so
about
so
it.
speaking of that, right? We gotta talk about skincare here because you're talking to Black girl sunscreen, here, right? And you in full glam, so I have to assume, I could be wrong, that there wasn't an application of sunscreen this morning.
There was not this morning.
Okay.
Yes. However, there was yesterday.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's your relationship with sunscreen?
So growing up, my father's a physician, and my father was very much like, oh, we're Black.
Sure.
We don't need sunscreen.
What type of physician?
He's emergency medicine.
Okay.
Yeah. And this was like 20 years ago. And so I remember that was my first introduction to sunscreen. It was like, oh, that's for white people. We don't need that.
Your dad would tell you this.
Yeah. My dad, my family.
Yeah.
Yes.
But was it from his experience like in ER or why do you think he told you that?
I think that was just his experience as a man. I don't think it was tied to anything medical.
Okay.
Because I don't know that because he's not a dermatologist. I don't know that he experienced skin ailments. So yeah.
So you believe your dad?
I believe my dad. And just in my culturally around me, that was the conversation. Oh, that's for white people. Sunscreen, we don't use sunscreen. The darker you are, the less you need it. That was the rationale.
How you feeling about it now?
Oh, now as a self-proclaimed skincare guru, I recognize fully and completely the importance of using a sun protectant, a skin protectant, not just for your face. There's the nail salon I go to, someone started doing this and I followed the trend. I put sunscreen on my hands before I cure them in the UV
lamp.
Yeah. Yes.
Black girl sunscreen, we have UPF gloves, right? And we will. That will be in your. It might be in your package today. So when you go get your nails done, it's preserving all this skin because you know
your hands
age.
And your neck will tell your age.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how often are you in full glam? Is it daily?
You know, I had this baby, so I've been looking real pedestrian of late.
Not pedestrian.
With nothing on my face. But I'm getting back into a space where I'm going to be in full glam often. Like this is
So you like being in full glam?
um no. I used to. I
Yeah.
used to love it. I don't mind. It's
Yeah.
it's hard now with a baby because
Yeah.
I want to like be in my baby's face and
Yeah.
I want to kiss him and he's like headbutting me and so makeup is getting everywhere. So it's becoming a bit of a challenge now. But makeup is fun. And
It is.
I love how you can sort of change your face and, create a mood with your makeup. So yes, like there'll be a part of me that always loves the glam of it all.
Okay, then
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that because we definitely have conversations on makeup very often here.
Yes.
If men should be able to request if you wear makeup. Yeah, because men like to talk about women in their makeup and seeing you in your natural state. So without a lash, without a foundation, without
Who are these men?
men that have opinions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, men
Well,
that have opinions.
They should keep those.
What does your hair look like? So then they can determine if they want to proceed
Based
in the
on-
relationship based off of your natural appearance and not the
Interesting.
facade.
Interesting. Well, that's a take.
Mhm.
That's a way to think.
What do you think about that? You think a man should have a say?
I think that if are we like meeting at a bar?
Maybe first or second date. Second date.
Okay,
right?
second
Like
date.
things
you
are
want,
cool.
So you want me to bring
like,
a wipe to the date and wipe off
Or
my
he might
eyebrows?
request come as Candiace. No,
This is Candiace.
okay,
This is her.
natural Candiace. No makeup. And what's your hair look like? Now, I'm not asking you, but that's the request.
I mean, I can, given the creativity and this just how well we have progressed technologically with makeup and hair, you really can create like a whole different version of yourself.
Yes.
I mean, like my hair under here, my hair is darker. I have like darker highlights and a darker color. This is a blonde wig, but underneath it's probably closer to what you have on your head now. And yeah, eyebrows can change a whole face. These are facts as well. Contour can change a face. But as a man, why are you in women's business?
That's always been my thought too.
That's women's business. Like I'm not asking you to take off your Beijing, okay? We're not talking about those holes in your beard, okay?
It could be alopecia though.
It could be, but if it is, I'm very sorry. Let's go to the dermatologist. But if it's not, I'm gonna take you as you are with your Beijing, with your beard that doesn't connect. I'm not like I want to know like what's your 401k looking like, okay? Like what are your financial plans, okay? How do you raise children, okay? How do you save money? You asking about my eyebrows. I'm talking about the future. So we are not yoked. So I'm ready to go. That's what I would say.
Well, but you clearly found your partner because let's do a little shout out to Chris.
Hi, Swan.
Yes, I mean.
But wait, hold on.
Okay.
Is that a correlation to the complexion? His complexion?
No. Oh, that's
Okay.
interesting. No, it's do you know the movie, the Adam Sandler movie? Is it Billy Madison?
Yes.
Where he's like, "What are you doing, Swan?" One day he just was like, he said that to me, like, "What are you doing, Swan?" I was like, "What is that?" And we just started calling each other Swan. And then from Swan, he started calling me Swanisha. And then from Swanisha, it just
audacity.
became.
What do you call him? Swall crap.
I call it Swan Cracker. I should, yes. He calls me, and then it just became Nisha. So now he just calls me Nisha. And it's from Swanisha. And
The banter is great.
Yes, that's my Swan.
But
Yeah.
he has always had your back on the show.
Yes.
You always had his back.
Yes.
You guys have always been very open and honest about your journey.
Yeah.
You wanted a baby.
Yes.
You had a baby.
Yes.
So how has life changed with motherhood?
Oh my gosh, motherhood is ghetto. Yeah, motherhood is it is the most beautiful and complicated hood that you could ever belong to. But really, postpartum is ghetto. Motherhood is cute. I'll take motherhood. The postpartum part, we need to talk about her. She's raggedy. But having, because my husband has children already, so I've seen him as a father, and he's a great father. But to see him with a brand new baby that we made together is like it's just a special position, and I feel lucky to get to experience this with Chris. He's taken on like such a leadership role, especially because when I gave birth, I was sick for a while. I had a blood clot that like had me just down and out. I was in a lot of pain. I had to take blood thinners to dissolve the clot, and I was really like no good. I couldn't hold my baby. I couldn't do anything. So Chris really stepped up and was the mom and dad for a long time. And he all of the like the nuanced details of taking care of a baby that I was privy to because I had read about it or seen all my friends who have kids go through it. He was so ready to take on. He's like the bottle washing whisperer. He gets all the formula. He makes all the bottles. He washes all the bottles, washes everything. He just bought Jet this bouncer thing. And my mom sent me a picture of him in this bouncer. And I'm like, oh my God. Like he has his own plans and ideas for our son, which I love. Like I love that they have their own independent situation. And it's been so cool to watch him be a dad. Yeah.
I love it.
Love that.
Do you have an extra set of hands supporting the family every now and then?
Shout out to my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is actually home with Jet now. She lives in Atlanta. She flew up for this weekend so that I could come out here and work.
Uh-huh.
When I was out, every time I've come to LA for work, this is my third trip since I gave birth, my mom flies up.
That's nice.
And then my sister, Crystal, will come over and help my mom. So yeah, I feel really blessed to have that village, because one of the things I remember hearing from all of my friends that have kids is childcare is so daunting. It's challenging. People, going through nannies like Kleenex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just because of with the schedule.
Yes.
And if you don't have the family, but you do,
yes,
then that's very helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm nervous about, I'm going to need a nanny, and I'm terrified about the process of finding a nanny. So
Me too.
Lord, send me the nanny.
And you're listening to Shamelessly Shontay. Bye.